Hey, so I was thinking about something the other day. You were talking about sleep.
Oh yeah.
Talking about sleep. Is there? It's probably a dumb question, but
Okay, there's no dumb questions, just dumb people.
that too. Is there a difference between like getting regular sleep and then like ambient sleep, like medicine sleep?
So that's not a dumb question, but ambient sleep, medicated sleep's not really sleep, right? There's a lot of research being shown that when you take ambient or sleep medications, you're really going unconscious, but you're not really going through the sleep cycles, right? So you'll be unconscious for 10 to 12 hours, but you don't get the regenerative and the restorative effects of natural, high-quality sleep, right? Because you don't go through the sleep cycles, right? You just go unconscious, basically. It's like, you know, when you get hammered drunk and you just go unconscious, and you wake up the next morning, you don't feel like you slept great. Like, even if you're not hungover, you still feel like shit because you don't go through. The same alcohol has the same effect to a lesser degree than Ambien, but you won't go through the quality sleep cycles.
The reason I was asking is I was on Ambien for 3 years.
So
I weaned myself off of it. And I was
I got to find this research, but I know that there's a Navy SEAL that basically when he was done killing people's faces, he used the military to get his MD, and he wanted to work specifically with like the SEAL teams because he was saying that, you know, you think like these dudes just being total alpha males, right? And he said all of the dudes would be on like Ambien, like Lexapro type shit and all this stuff, and he started like researching the effects that it had on them. And then he also like did blood profiles, and he found that like a lot of these dudes, they weren't necessarily out of the like the range of normal testosterone, but they were towards the lower end. And he was like, you know what, these guys are like alpha males, they're real dialed up. He's like, they probably should be on the higher end of testosterone.
You know what's really funny is I'm a direct correlation of that because whenever I was tested 3 years ago a year ago when I was weaning myself off, I tested like a 303.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So
I'm out.
Exactly. So if the normal range is, I think the normal range is like 300 or 400 to 1200, right? So he got permission, you know, from the government to get these guys, get their testosterone level up to the high end of normal, right? So not to like get them to like 1400, but to get them to like 1000, right? And what they found is when their testosterone levels were at 1000, they slept better, they felt better, they weren't tired, they weren't groggy, they didn't need Lexapro, they didn't need Ambien, they didn't need all that other shit, right? And so, because, I mean, if you think about it, if you're always taking Ambien, you're in a constant state of sleep deprivation, your testosterone's really low, like your ability to get excited is depressed, which is really not an ideal circumstance for a guy that's about to do high execution, high risk maneuver, right? So they found out like this, and you think about it, the training and everything leading up to these guys graduating from buds and going through all the SEAL training shit, that accumulation of training could be so stressful that it naturally suppresses their testosterone and increases their cortisol. Exactly. So there's like a real hard look at there's always got to be a component to it that's got to be like torturous and test you mentally and all that shit. But there also has to be a component to it that brings you back physically. Yeah. Because you can't just like be strong-minded and think that physiology doesn't have an effect.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I think Ambien's like just a terrible fucking drug.
It is.
And it really does more harm than good, because what it does is then it locks you in to basically like dependency, and you getting back in your sleep cycle is all fucked up. And also with the Ambien, people were taking it and their hormone profiles weren't regulating because they weren't getting quality sleep, so their cortisol was still going up. So they felt fat, they felt tired, they felt like all the shit.
So what I was doing too, one of my side effects was I was sleepy. I would get up middle of the night. My wife would tell me this. I would just go in the kitchen and eat.
There you go. Good, Haley.
Never. About a year ago when I started weaning myself off, it took me a good 4 months.
Oh yeah.
Because I was just, and I feel like now I'm still like out of balance, but I'm a lot better than what I used to be.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a good question.